Do you want to automate entire parts of your business using AI? No more manual data entry, no more wasted time, no more reminders. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, even if you're brand new to AI automation. And that platform is Make.com. So if you're new here, I'm Sam Graham, and I use Make.com in my agency for my business and my clients every single day. Make.com is a no-code platform which allows you to connect hundreds of different softwares, all the tools you use on a daily basis in your business, connect them together and get AI to power the workflow so you can have workflows that run on autopilot. There are similar platforms called n8n and Zapier, which do a similar thing. Make.com is the more intuitive out of the three, which I think is perfect for beginners. I'll go in to show you exactly what this looks like. We're going to build out our own workflows together to give you an idea of how to set up Make.com, what the pricing tiers are, explain the functionality of how the different modules work, and by the end of it, you'll be able to build your own workflow, incorporate that with AI, and we'll set you on your path to starting these things for yourself. Let's dive in. So, Make.com. This is the landing page. So, Make is one of three of the main popular no-code platforms. So, you've got Make, n8n, and Zapier. They all do virtually the same thing. They've all got some advantages and disadvantages between the three of them. I think Make for beginners is by far the most intuitive. When we go into it, I'll show you, but with all of these no-code platforms, what they do is basically hide away all the code that would normally be visible, which is what people find so intimidating, especially people who obviously aren't able to code or don't know how. And rather than, having to drop, and instead of having to actually type hard code the information in, you can just drag and drop things, which I'll show you in the next step. So if you're brand new to automation, haven't used any no-code platforms before, start with Make. This is the main landing page. I'll go through the pricing because they've got some different packages. So basically it comes down to the team members, the access and the operations. So for every operation in Make, they'll charge you effectively. So you can get started for free. So I'd advise anyone to sign up, have a play around with it, see if you think it's useful for you. Sign up, you get 1,000 operations for free. You can actually get quite a lot done with that amount. And then you've got the core and the pro, both at 10,000. With it, you get some more variables and the file size. I think the file size in the core one is no bigger than 1 megabyte or 5 megabytes. They have smaller file sizes, so you may run into some problems as you become to do bigger workflows and work with bigger data sets. And obviously, if you're part of a team, you can have multiple users. So I'd recommend start with the free one, but the pro one is the one that I use for now, which has everything that I need. When you're inside, it will look something like this. So you come to the main page. So this is your organization. It's got all of your operations, if you can see around here in the data, so that won't mean too much for you. It's got the plan here that I'm on, how many operations I've used. What they like to call it's called scenarios. So if you go to scenarios, here's a load that I've been working on recently, but this is where all your workflows go. So if you go on to create a new scenario, if we're going to go through this together, and this will take you to the main page of your scenario. So if I move myself out the way. So all of these, basically, if I zoom out a little bit, it might make it a bit easier for you. But so this is a module. So what you're seeing right here is the modules. You've got all the apps you can connect to. So you see some of the ones I frequently use are OpenAI, Google Sheets, Airtable. You've got pretty much anything you can use on your computer online. So you've got emails, webhooks, OneDrive, you can connect it to all your Google files, providers, Instagram, all your note-taking documents, CRMs, Facebook, Slack, like I say, the list goes. If you see what I mean here, there's literally hundreds, if not thousands of integrations you can do, which is why it's such a powerful tool, because I guarantee things that you're using every single day, you can automate using this platform. So it's definitely something to have a look into. And today, what I was going to do is, one of the best places to start is you can start, they've actually got a template library. So if you have a look here, so these are some common use cases you might want to use for your to get started. So they've got lots of different things from Gmails, creating chatbots, saving telegrams, all sorts of things. So it's best to have a look through these. It gives you an idea of sometimes if you're new to it and you're not sure what's possible, this is a good way to sort of give some inspiration, and you can just take their blueprints and just build on those, what they've already set up. So you go back to scenarios. So what I was going to do is, if you have a look at all of these scenarios, so they've got to start with 1 point. So if you see in the bottom corner here, you can schedule these to run at any certain time of day. So maybe some people do it at the start of their work day, they do it 8 in the morning, they'll have that and loads of things will get done before they've even started their day. Or it might be something you need done every 15 minutes, once an hour, once a week. It really just depends on your use case, but you've got all those options down the bottom here. You can have them triggered. So the one I'm going to make today is going to be an email autoresponder. It's going to be an email autoresponder. So it just gives you, it's very basic, but it gives you an idea of how hands-off this can be and sort of the uses that it could have. So what we'll do is we'll build this out from scratch. I can show you the 3 main concepts with it really. The first is the authorization of how you connect your tools and softwares and apps to the platform. Something called API keys. I'm not sure if any of you have been in and around looking at automation yet. You might be familiar with that, but I will explain that. Get these apps connected, show you a workflow of how to build it, and then you can go on and experiment with yourself. So what I'm going to use today is going to start with an email module. So as you see, when you go onto any of the modules, you've got several different, you've got a trigger. So it's going to be watching an email folder, or you've got all these different actions where you can do all these sorts of things, go into your inbox and give you access to any Gmail or Outlook inbox and perform all these actions without you having any input. So for today's demonstration, I'm going to go through watch emails. So what you find when you create your first module like this, it'll have a connection up the top. So for mine's already connected, but what I have to go is add. And when you add it, you'll be able to choose a connecting type. It can be Microsoft, Google, or they do have others. With this, once you click it, you'll just have to input your Windows password or Outlook password or your Gmail password, and then it'll connect. Then once you have connected, so I'll leave mine in, mine's already connected there. You can then go and find what folder you want to monitor. So if I go into my emails here, I've set up a requests folder. And what you can do, you can set criteria in terms of, we'll go all emails. You can put obviously filters here. So if you are watching, if it's a large inbox, you only want these emails to be pulled through for certain people who've sent them in, or certain subject lines, certain phrases. This is where you do all the filtering. So it doesn't drag every single email in the inbox. It's only going to pick up the particular ones you need. You could set that up from the Outlook side, setting rules for particular folders, but this is just another way to safeguard it against it in Make. So for this one, what we'll do is we'll go to my website. So this is my agency. As part of it, I have a lead magnet, which is basically an ebook that people can claim. So I'll, just for demonstration purposes, show you this. So this is now going to send an email to my work email requesting this ebook. So this should come through to this inbox, and there we have it. So that email's come through. So what we want to do is we want to copy this title, and we can from the subject line, and we can put that in, to the subject line here. So it's going to, any emails that come through with that as a subject line, it's going to take that as an ebook request and move forward in the workflow. So that will do for now. So we can save that there. It'll ask you when you want to do it from. So if that, say for example, that inbox is already completely full, you don't want it pulling through, I don't know, 500 emails, you do it from now, or you do it from a particular date. We'll just go with all emails for the time being, because that's the only one that's in there. So right, now we've got our email, we've got the output here. So that's gone and scanned the email inbox that we were looking at before. We've got all the text content. You've got the sender who sent it, their name, any attachments that are on there. So that's exactly what we need. So now the next step, we want to go and get the file that we want to return to them as part of the autoresponder. So here we can use OneDrive. That's where I've got my files saved. So you could have Google Drive, Dropbox, any other sort of storage platform. If we add in OneDrive, so again, you have different options. So you can do this when you're actually receiving files. You can save it and upload it to the OneDrive. But yeah, for this example, we're going to download the file because we want to download the ebook to email onto them. Again, with this, you've got Microsoft connections already established. If it's the first time you're doing it, you'll have to input your Microsoft details just to give you access. Like I say, there's authorization every step on. Like, once you've done it once, you only have to do it, but it's just to keep everything secure. You can get the choice of file ID. So with the file ID, each file on all of these platforms has its own individual ID. So if you do have that, you can just map that in directly. But this example, we're going to select it just from the folder itself. So we'll go from my drive, and this will go through my OneDrive here. So I'll go and find where my ebook is. Books. Yeah, so that's it there. We don't want to convert it to a PDF and save. And with all of this, at every step, it's worthwhile saving it and testing it. So what we'll do now is we'll go back to email here. That's still unread. So right, we'll try this one more time. If we run that, I have to do it from now. So at this stage now, it's carried through the email again. And now this should have gone and found the data. So yeah, it's taking data from the email as an input, and then it's outputting the download of the file that we need. So this is perfect. Now we need to take this information and send it back to the person who's requested it. So we're going to use another email module. Rather than any of these, we're actually going to go to send an email. So again, you've got your Microsoft connection at the top. This is where really the power of the no code element comes in, because if we were doing this manually, you would have to be typing all of these variables individually yourself into some sort of coding environment. Whereas now, if you look here, say for example, where we're going to put the email address, rather than typing it in ourselves, it's got all the data organized from all the previous steps. So we can simply go to the person who sent it before, email address, and just click email address, which is so simple. That would have been very difficult before. And it also means that if this automation's running, that variable of email address is going to change. You might have 100 people requesting that ebook, all with different email addresses. And this is going to update that each time. It's going to pull through. It's going to give the correct person who's come through. So it's dynamic variable like that. So that would be for the recipient. Subject, we'll just put ebook request. This is just putting the details for the email we're going to send out. The content, thank you, your request. Right, straight to the point. And then attachment. So what we want to do is we want to attach this file up here. So that's why, again, where the no code element comes in. If we go to add an attachment, we can map this, and we can just take the file name and the data from the downloaded file and click save. So now if we run this, what it should do is module 1 should watch the inbox for an incoming email. Module 2 should find the requested file for that request. Then module 3 should send the document back to the person who's requested it with an email body message. So let's just try that again, see if that works in, what have I missed out? What have I missed out? So that should be fine. Right, yeah, let's save it. I'll do it from now. So right, you saw that took 10 seconds maybe. And then if I go back to my emails, what I should have come through is an email from myself with the ebook attached, thanking me for the request. We'll see if it comes through. So let's see, that should have now sent back the PDF to my inbox. Let's wait and see. And there you go. So that's come through. It's actually got it twice. I'm not sure why, but it's got the message we put in there and the attachment. The next step would be to take this one step further, is to put AI in the workflow somehow. So say, for example, right, this is all good and well, but the email is not very personal. It's just sent out because it's just a generic email. It's got thank you. How could we make this a bit more personalized and a bit more articulate? So this is one way in which we can use AI. So say, for example, if we add a module in here, but after the file's been downloaded and before we send it, we can connect it to OpenAI here. So you can use, if you've got Gemini, Grok, all of them can be used to power these workflows. So for this demonstration, I'm going to do OpenAI. You'll have a few different options. So if you've created AI assistants before, that's an option you can do here. You can create images, do all sorts of things. You use Whisper for voice transcriptions. But this, we just use the general create a completion, which is basically just a standard request with ChatGPT. Again, what you have to do with this time to create this connection is slightly different. So any tools that are token based have something called an API token. So this will be connect. It will be every operation that goes, it will effectively charge you for. When I say charge, I think ChatGPT OpenAI is like cents per automated, so it's per operation, so it's really small. Obviously, if you're doing thousands of these a day, it can add up, but I'll show you how to do that on the OpenAI website. So you'll find it on the OpenAI website on the platform here. If I move myself out the way, so if you see down, there we are. So down here on the left hand side, we've got API keys. So these are keys that you generate to link with any third party providers. So what you can do here on the top right is go create new key. Here You can name it anything, make, and then you go create secret key. And what this will do is here you can copy this. It's massive long. I'll delete this before I put this video up. But yeah, don't do that to anyone because that's basically going to give access to your OpenAI account. And what you'll do is you copy and paste that into your make.com scenario. So you'll be copying and pasting it in here. And that just basically means your OpenAI can then fuel any workflow that you have on this platform. And it will basically just charge in the background. So you don't have to go flick between platforms and things like that. So very useful. When they charges, I wouldn't get too hung up on it. It's very cost efficient. And when you come down to choosing the modules here, you've got lots of different models. Some, like the newer ones, the O1s and O3 minis, are more expensive, but still fractions of a penny, if you know what I mean. And the older you go, the quicker they are and the cheaper they are. So for something as basic as this, you could probably use any model. But we'll go with G4O, probably Go Mini. That'd be fine for this. This is where, if you think about, if you've watched my channel so far in terms of the prompt engineering, this is where we prompt it. So rather than going actually into ChatGPT or OpenAI, you do it all within Make. So what it might say here is system message. Let's say you can either write in yourself or drag and drop it, but you are a helpful assistant. Right. Right. And then so we add a system message. You can add another message here. You can add unlimited amounts of these. I usually suggest doing one system and then either one or two user prompts. So if we go here with the user prompt, it will be, we need to give ChatGPT or OpenAI the information from the previous steps. So what we'll say is you will receive, actually, no, let's do it a different way. Please output an email address to, and then if we go back to our previous module, the name was in here. Where are we? Recipient name, Sam. So put to the following name, and then we can say, be friendly, thank them for the email, sign off with kind regards, Sam. Right. On this, you can then choose all sorts of things. So you can have tokens down the bottom. I always just leave it as that. You can, for larger, if you're feeding in larger amounts of information, you're going to need more tokens to cover that. But just so if you're doing what we're doing in the background here from left to right, that's one sort of scenario. But if you're doing, say, and then you've got 1,000 names to go through it, then obviously these tokens can add up. So it's good to put a limit on there just so it sort of overdo it on your account too much. But we'll save that. And now we've added another module in. We now need to go and update the email that we sent previously, the email module. So what we want to do there is in the content, the body of the email, rather than being our pre-written one, we want to actually take it from, if we go to message here, choices, message, it's not there now because we haven't run it, but when we run through the scenario again, it'll come up. If we go to this content, so now that's going to dynamically put, for each email that comes through, it's going to do a personalized email using the name from the first module to create a different email. So it'll be different depending on who sends it in, when sends it in. So it just gives more author the whole process. And then we had that mapped correctly from before. So we'll save that. And then, yeah, let's give it a try. So as you see, so the first two stages are done. OpenAI has done its bit. So if we see here, the input was, yeah, so that's got the prompt that I put in, and it's got the input as my name there, which was dragged from the previous module. Then the output, we've got a personalized email that's going to be much better for them rather than just what we put before. It just gives it that more authentic feel. So what we should find is if we go back to my emails, right, okay, so I could have put that subject separately. So we need to change the prompt to say don't include the subject in the body of the email, but you can see the point as in it's addressed it personally to me as opposed to just a generic reply there. So it gives you just a small understanding of, obviously this has been very basic in terms of the information we've used, what we've had to do. But if you think about this in a broader concept of, you can have make.com watching all of your inboxes, replying to saving documents, processing documents, all in a personalized manner. Obviously it takes a lot longer to, like with very basic prompts here, it will take a lot longer to in those to give it a better output. Obviously we had the subject line in the body of the email, which if we spent 2 minutes to change that, we could get that perfect. But if you want more complex and more authentic replies, then that's something you can put in. But even after that, you could then add a module and save those conversations onto your CRM with the leads details. You can build really complex things in here, and it can all be done either off the one click of a button, or either trigger, so emails coming in or CRMs getting updated and things like that. So I'll leave that for this example. On the next one, I'll go through some more with more complicated AI steps, different down through maybe some social media integrations and things like that. They have actually got a new AI agent feature that's come in with that. That's new, not to all users, so it's something that I need to go through, so that'll be included on the next video. But yeah, I hope you found this interesting. And there you have it, your very own AI automated workflow in Mate.com. So now go away, use what I've shown you today in terms of connecting the different tools, incorporate ones that you use daily in your business. They'll probably be different to the ones that we've shown today, but they all work, they all connect in a similar fashion. And in the next video, I'll show you some more complex automations and workflows that can take things one step further. If there's any particular tools or softwares you want me to use, drop them in the comments and I'll use those for inspiration. See you on the next one.